Have you heard the old saying, don't judge a book by its cover? But that's what people do, right? We judge everything by outward appearances. In my experience, a great album cover can make or break the decision on whether I buy an album. So go on a journey with me as we look at some great album cover designs and talk about why I believe that you need a personal designer for your album artwork. This is Judged by the Cover. Hey guys, I'm Josh.
I'm Phil.
And welcome back to the Judged by the Cover podcast. It's been a minute, Phil.
It has been a long time. There's a lot going on, right?
Yeah, it's actually been since May.
No
May
way.
was the last time we dropped. So,
wow.
Sorry. But we've been busy, man.
Yeah.
As you can see, we are in a different location, and that's because I have sold my house and no longer have access to my studio.
So it's here now.
So we are here for the meantime, however long that is. But Phil has graciously opened up his media man room.
Yeah.
And as you can see, he's already got the aesthetic correct. So
Yeah.
we're going the right direction.
And, it's like my daughter put those up.
Did she really?
Yeah.
How about
Did
that?
you notice the Judge by the Cover framed poster to your right?
No, I didn't.
Come
Look
on.
at that,
And it's
man.
signed. Like you signed it.
What?
And I signed it.
That must have been Record Store Day?
2024. Yeah, I think it was Record Store Day.
Dang. Dude, that's awesome.
I like framing stuff. Like that's the idea for
Yeah.
a media room. I've got like band pictures from my days in New York, and I love it. I like.
Yeah, and I love the girlfriend and the Phil Hyland stuff hung
Yeah.
up over here. We'll have to get some B-roll shots of some of the stuff. It's pretty cool. But yeah, life's been crazy. So forgive us for being gone for a while, but we're back, and hopefully back to more consistently. Hopefully monthly. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Phil, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about some archival recordings that I've resurrected that you did some design work for me on. They started out as in the 90s, everything was on tape. And so I handed you some cassettes because I needed some kind of graphic. I'm like, well, these songs that we're putting out digitally are all originated from cassette tapes. So you hooked me up, man, with a cool idea. So we're going to talk about that.
Yes, we are. But before we get to that, Phil, your daughter is part of a really cool music competition. Why don't you tell us about it and what's going on there?
So Muscle Shoals, are you familiar with Muscle Shoals?
I am. That's like the legendary, like all the writers and stuff like that come from Muscle
Swampers. You've got like Leonard Skinner recorded down there. Cher recorded her first like solo. I know.
Really?
You don't even think about that stuff.
That's
but
crazy.
It became Aretha Franklin cut her first hit there. Like Aretha was signed to another label early on in her career, and the label didn't know what to do with her. She got this other chance to record with I think it was Jerry Wexler down at Muscle Shoals. They tried something. Let's try something new. There are these guys that have a studio in Sheffield, Alabama. Who would think, right? You would think you'd send Aretha to like L.A.
Right? Yeah, or maybe New York.
Yeah, one of the big, or Detroit, right?
Yeah,
Muscle Shoals. There was something going on. There was a sound down there.
Yeah,
that Fame Recording Studios really started it. The guy, his name was Hall was his last name. I forget his first name. I think it was Rich Hall or Rick Hall.
Rick Hall.
He started Fame Recording Studios. They got on the map. Like the sound was incredible. The house band was amazing. So anyway, Aretha cut her hit there, and so now we know it historically as a really cool spot, but now the community down there has a competition. It started last year. It's called Shoals City Showdown.
Shoals
City Showdown.
Say that fast.
Say that fast, real quick. And it's really to put eyes back on the Shoals, and it's really cool. Like I've told you, when I go through there, I've got family down in Memphis, so when I go between Chattanooga and Memphis, it's like the halfway point. So I was like, I stop, I get gas, and that's where I started doing the studio tours. So they're really trying to gain awareness. So they put out a nationwide search for talent, and my daughter was selected. 1 out of 32 artists made the cut.
Come on.
And we're talking about thousands of people submitted. So she's in this thing. She just made it through round 1. Round 2 starts the week of September 8th.
So we are calling on you guys to help Gracie out. We want to see her continue to move forward in it. And I believe they record a song, right? The artist they record a song, and that's kind of like what you're voting based on. Like, do
Right.
you like the song, or do you like the artist?
Yeah, do you like the artist? Like the first thing was her playing live, and she got the most votes to move to the next round. It's like a bracket system, so it's like March Madness. It's all bracketed, and it culminates into a live competition between 4 artists on October 4th in Muscle Shoals.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. So hopefully we can post a link or something.
Yeah. Link will be like in the description or the show notes. And then obviously like on social media and stuff, we'll make sure that gets out there. So
we're excited. She's like, it's really cool that my daughter is interested in that type of music.
Yeah.
She's a backup singer for Bobby Wilson. Bobby Wilson is the son of Jackie Wilson, who is a famous Motown artist.
Okay.
So Gracie's like steeped into this world now, and she's loving it. So we'll see. We're excited for her.
Yeah, that's awesome. So week of September 8th, that's when the next round of voting begins, and
that's it.
We'd love it if you guys helped her
Please.
out. Not helping me out. I have nothing to do with this other than saying like, go vote for Gracie.
It's kind of a popularity contest. You are voting for like, oh, I like this performer better, but it really is in the grand scheme to kind of just let people remember, like, oh, they're still recording down there. It's just like we don't have the Leonard Skinnards right now.
Yeah,
it was a magical moment in time, but it's cool. It's a good cause.
Yeah, and some of the money, that they raise is going towards like a food shelter or something like that.
They've got it's almost like a grocery store, so it's really not even. It doesn't look like a food bank or a pantry. It looks like a legit grocery store. And it's for people that just they need some food, and they can go in there and shop. So when you vote on Fridays, there's a $5 donation if you're willing to do that, and it buys Grace 3 votes, and it actually purchases 2 meals for people who need food. So it's kind of cool. That'll be on Friday of that week that you can do that extra voting.
Yeah. So donation. we'll have more information on social media. Both obviously, if you follow Phil, that's at Phil Hyland. Is that right?
At Phil Hyland.
He'll have links and stuff too. So yeah, we're just excited for Gracie and would love to see her continue to move on in this competition. It'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome. And I guess what we'll do now is we'll take a couple minutes to thank our sponsors, and then we'll get into talking about Reel to Reel.
I can't wait.
Judged by the Cover is brought to you by JW Creates. JW Creates is your local graphic design source that specializes in cover art, logos, and websites for bands, musicians, podcasters, small business, and solo entrepreneurs. I love to hear your story and to help bring it to life through the art of graphic design. To learn more and connect with me, go to jwcreates.com, check out my work, and use the form at the bottom to tell me more about your project. Let's work together to bring your story to life through the art of graphic design.
We're back. We're going to talk about some 90s analog tape recording. I started my music career. I was in a band. Like so many people, you start a band and you're like,
right.
Dude, we're going to rule the world. We're going to take over.
Do the next big thing.
The next big thing. And, it's like, I always wanted to be in a band.
Yeah.
And I when I first got a guitar, I was terrible. And I'm not saying I've improved much.
As all of us were that play guitar.
Like, I distinctly remember my mom telling me, like, please stop playing.
I don't know if you have the same experience as me, but you learn that first little lick or song.
Yeah.
You just play over and over and
All
over.
right.
And people go, for the love
of God, if you play Smoke on the Water one more time, I'm gonna kill you.
I'm gonna break that guitar.
But I did mix it up. I did Smoke on the Water.
Okay.
But then I did Iron Man.
Oh yeah.
Was that Black Sabbath?
Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heavy boots of lead.
Yeah.
But I remember being up in my attic, and my brother had this. It was called a Gorilla amp. I don't even know. I just thought it was cool. It was like, oh, it's a Gorilla amp, And so I had this cheap knockoff Strat called a Hondo that I got at the record. That I got at the local music store, and dude, I love that thing because I wanted to be like Andy Summers. There was a band called The Police out at the time, and Andy Summers is an amazing guitar player. But I digress. So I bought a red Strat knockoff because he played a red Strat.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I would be up in this blazing hot attic in the summer in Virginia just playing Iron Man and Smoke on the Water until I just drove my whole family crazy. But I started a band. And when I moved to New York as an actor in 1990, that's what I did, man.
Yeah.
I would do acting jobs. And anytime I went away on an acting job, I would bring my guitar.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I started playing music in the city and I started a band and I got like a little indie deal, and everything at that time was we were recorded to tape. So I would do these demos on an 8-track Tascam and I'd mix them down to a cassette, and that's what I would take to the clubs to get gigs. I'd be like, hey, here's my cassette, and it had my phone number. It's got my it's my girlfriend's phone number, who's now my wife.
Hilarious.
I wonder if you call that, like, it's 212-663-3307.
Man, so I'm gonna have to bleep that out.
Nah, man, just blow it up. Somebody's got it in New York City. That's an OG New York. If you were 212, you're like, yo, that's Manhattan, bro.
Wow,
that's like big time. I love looking at this stuff, though.
Come on.
Yeah, there was a place in like Midtown. You would go down, and they would be like, "How many do you want?" I don't know, man. I need like give me 100 of these, and they just rip them out.
Really?
And they had like a dot matrix printer, and they'd print your song list on there. But I gave this to you, and it's cool because here's really what we're talking about is I didn't want these things on tape to just decay. Like, I'm staring at a stack of like 150 pounds of reel-to-reel tapes in front of me since we're up in my little man cave or my media room. But it's like, I don't want that stuff to decay. And I think anyone who's an artist, I think you would agree, even whatever it is, you don't want to lose that stuff. And look, man, it's so easy to put it out on like Spotify and, all the streaming platforms. So I'm like, I'll put it out. And it sounds raw, and it's like the guys in my band and my now wife, they're so talented.
Yeah.
That was my little secret to forming a band. Get with people who are a lot better than I am.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm like, I'm not the best singer. I need a good female singer.
Yeah.
And I got one, man.
Yeah.
And I had great guys in the band. And it's almost like I'm looking through photographs or something. I'll listen to these songs. I'm like, man, that guy is such a great drummer. And I'm still friends with these guys.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're doing like really cool stuff too, still, right?
Yeah. They're all doing like, they're so talented, these guys. Yeah. Even the artist we worked with back in the day, he became a famous artist. And I hit him up I probably hit him up like 15 years ago. I was doing a solo project. I'm like, hey, bro, can you, do my album cover? He's like, I don't do that anymore. This guy's like in the MoMA now. I'm like, oh shit, okay, you're big time in me now. He's like, you don't do album covers
not
anymore.
Even for a friend. Come on.
Yeah, man. I was like, damn, all right, man. At least I got one out of him.
You're
you know what I mean? So, but why lose that stuff? So I approached you, and I'm like, what do I do with these? I want to put it out there as these were obviously tape recordings.
Yeah.
Kind of retain that vibe and look, and you came up with a really cool option for me, and you redesigned my logo for my production company.
I did,
and you got my old band logo on there. So I love what you did because it still looks like weathered 90s, paper. They would just stick.
Yeah,
cassette's coming back too.
Oh,
y'all know that cassette is coming back. Like I've got another album coming out, I don't know, hopefully by the end of the year, next year, that you're doing the artwork on. And it's going to be freaking great. But I'm wondering, should I do physicals? Like, drop it in the comments too if you have any thoughts on that. Like, would you, if you're an artist or you love a band, would you want the band you love to put out like cassette, or would you want them to put out like an OG CD? Or like Chance the Rapper is putting out CDs, but there's no actual like CD in it. It's like a jewel case, but you can scan it.
Yeah, it's got like an NFC tag or something in it that when you put your phone to it,
it's crazy.
It brings up the album, probably on Spotify.
And his
would
merch
be my guess
too. Like you scan the merch, you buy the merch, but then it takes you to the music. So it's almost like the T-shirt is the physical item of value. The music's valuable, obviously.
Right. Right.
But then that purchase gets you the music.
Access to the music.
Yeah, so you're buying a t-shirt, it's probably what, $50.
At
Gotta
least.
be, right?
At least.
Yeah.
I just spent $45 on just a regular old t-shirt at the Linkin Park concert. So yeah, they're expensive.
I want to hear about that. So that's all I'm doing. You hooked me up. I'm excited. It's out now. It's called Reel to Reel, like REAL, so like a real band to Reel, REEL.
Ooh, is that why it's named that? Yeah. It's a real band.
It's a real band
recorded
to reel tape.
You know what? I didn't even ask that while we were doing this process.
What kind of designer are you?
Well, because when I started the design, I was just calling it demos because someone didn't have a name for it yet.
I'm not that creative. I can make the music, but I'm not that creative.
Dude, that name is awesome. I never caught that. I wondered what that meant.
Real, because it's a real sound. Like I was like, and I honestly, I don't think like that's original. I think there's some stuff back from the 70s called like Reel to Reel.
Yeah, there's a few of them out there.
Yeah.
So it's Reel to Reel, REAL, REEL, and you got to search by girlfriend.
But I love it. And you know what the cool thing? So you put this package together, and now I share it, obviously, and it's got a great visual. But one of the original drummers now lives in like Amsterdam. His name is Woody Saunders, and he was so good. We lost him because he got to go on tour with like another artist. Another bigger artist.
Yeah.
But then we got another great drummer called Dale May, and Dale, we could do a whole episode on Dale May. He's so awesome. But it got me back in touch with Woody, like through Instagram and stuff, and I was able to send him the link. Like he hadn't heard this freaking tape since he played on it. Because
that's crazy.
We would never listen to this. We would do it. We would record this thing. Yeah. And then again, this is for the clubs or to get booked for a festival.
Yeah.
You'd send this thing in the mail, and like 3 weeks later, you'd hear back, okay, you booked the Bethlehem Music Fest, which we did. We played 2 years in a row. But you'd book these paying gigs, like festival shows, off of a freaking cassette, dude. Now it's like everything's digital.
It's email.
email. I mean, this was your calling card.
Yeah. I mean, it was like basically like your business card. If you think about it kind of in that sense, that was like how you got yourself in front of people.
No email. There's no website on here. No. It's a phone number, dude.
Well, let me ask you this, because you basically, you just took the demos and you just uploaded them. You didn't like touch them up or master them or anything like that.
A friend of mine mastered them.
Okay.
You know? But here's the thing. They were on tape, so you already had like a lot of that beautiful tape compression. And these were recorded to Tascam 8-track reel-to-reel machines, which are great sound.
Oh, yeah.
Great sound. And then some of them, I think one or two, maybe, I don't know, were on ADATs, which it looked like a video cassette, like a VHS tape, because it was a VHS tape. But they had this tech that came in called ADATs, which was audio digital
something or another.
Audio tape, blah, blah, blah. But that's crazy, these formats. So
Yeah, that's really cool. And I'm sure like as an artist to kind of put the raw version out there, is that something that you felt maybe like subconscious about? Because maybe it's not like as like polished as like you could do if you like went in and re-recorded them or something like that.
Sure.
Or is there like the nostalgia feel?
It's the nostalgia. I will say like a lot of these on these cassettes became the studio record. Like we went into the studio. We got an indie deal.
Yep.
And we went down to a studio in Richmond, Virginia called Sound of Music and did like a pro studio recording. So no, you get the best of both worlds. And that's what I love. Like my favorite bands, if they release on the platforms like a really cool old demo. I mean, imagine if Linkin Park put out an old demo of a song you love, you're going to listen to it.
Oh yeah. So for the 20-year anniversary of both Hybrid Theory and Meteora, they did release some of the demos, and and they've gotten where they're like either like singing or rapping over the song, and it's like close to what some of the lyrics were, but it's totally different. And they had like the names, like they called all these tracks something different before they like put the real names on them and stuff like that. So no, I was just curious because I know that they were kind of the raw recorded.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, because and it's so funny. Like now with Pro Tools, like. We labor over songs now. Dude, we ripped this in like 3 afternoons or something. And, we were probably had like, we're drinking, I mean, like.
You were loose.
You're loose. It is like, you just did it.
Yeah.
Now you're like, oh, I don't know. We should stack the vocals more. Like we got in this thing.
Can we trade that snare out for
Yeah,
something that sounds a little
my
lighter?
gosh, let me search a library. And I don't, hey, like I like that. That's cool. It's just different now. And I love where I work at Wavelength Studios downtown. And it's amazing what those guys can do with sound. But back in the day with tape, dude, you got one take, maybe two takes.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you take multiple takes of those songs, or was it just like you came in prepared and you knocked them out?
And you knocked them out. Because we were playing all the time.
Okay, so you were tight.
We were tight.
Yeah.
We knew we weren't playing around. We were like, let's go. Just press record. Maybe you make sure the levels are good and hit it.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm living vicariously through you because I always wanted that like band life.
I did
never
too.
got it. Yeah.
And I just went for it. And it's like, I mean, I think you and I have talked, like I never had a single that charted. Like that was my big dream. Like I just want a single that charts. And we did like college radio and stuff like that. And got placements in TV shows. We had a nice little run, you know. But I really did get involved with it just to be part of it. I had so many friends that were in cool bands. I'm like, just seems like so much fun. And it's like, why not do it? Like especially if you're young right now, and if you're listening, just go for it. You're going to make friends for life, man.
Come on.
You might totally, not be the best musician, not be the best singer. I mean, who cares? I mean, get over it.
Just get it out. Put it out.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Don't be timid.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm sure that is the more mature Phil talking. I'm sure 20-something-year-old Phil may have not had the same tune. I don't know.
Yeah, 20-year-old Phil was full of like confidence. Like you couldn't tell that guy anything. Like, I could say to hey man, there's no money in music, bro. Don't do it. And he'd be like, oh, screw you, dude. I'm gonna do it anyway, bro. I'll show you, old man.
You can't tell me.
Yeah, you can't tell me. But I was relentless. Like I would just like my Friday nights in New York City.
Yeah, I
have had a little studio down the street that a friend of mine ran. It was called Subway Tracks. Great name for a studio.
Cool.
His name was Mirek Kudakowski. And, for like a few bucks an hour, you would just bring your 8-track reels to him, and I would just demo songs. Like I'd get like a 6-pack and a bunch of thing of tapes under my arm and just like play music and do demos. And that was my fun because multi-tracking is so awesome. You know? It's like, oh wow, I can double my vocal here. I can do a harmony. I can play like another guitar part. Like it sounds like cool. I don't know.
Experimenting and doing different things.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just I was all in on it.
Dude, that's awesome.
All in.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, I was really excited. So when you were telling me that you were going to put this out, obviously I was like, okay, what's the art? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
and literally he was like, I've got a couple of cassette tapes. Like these are the demos. The songs are basically coming off of these guys.
Yeah.
And, I guess the way that I feel like you explained it to me was like you were just trying to like resurrect these songs and get them out there. And so I think your idea was for the cassette to be, kind of prominent somewhere on the album art. So my idea was just to just make it prominent because it's like these songs have been locked up on these cassettes.
Yeah.
And, and now they're getting set free. So
they're going to decay eventually.
Yeah.
One day.
And I think there is a fascination, especially with like younger people, for these physical formats. So, I think it's kind of the right time to kind of be leaning into like this whole cassette thing.
Yeah. I came from the era of Walkman. Like Sony came out with the Walkman. When did they come out? Like probably late 70s, early 80s.
Probably 80s, yeah.
But I remember when I got my first Walkman, and it was an Iowa. It wasn't even a Sony Walkman. It was like a, Iowa, another brand. But it was so fun to just like, I would buy like my favorite artist on tape. And I really did. I felt like, oh man, I own this record, man. And I'd be on the New York City subways just with my headphones on, going to an audition, just digging whatever album I was into and playing it over and over and then flipping the sides. Oh, I got to go to side 2 now and flip it over.
And it was the first kind of like mobile version of music, right?
Oh, it was a game changer.
Yeah.
That was like, I don't know if people understand like, oh my gosh, I can drive to work or walk to work, especially in the big cities.
Yeah.
You're not driving, so you don't have stuff on your ears. But it was just like a wild, cool way to experience music in your favorite band.
Yeah.
I don't know. I cherish those times, and like it was a big deal. Like you would, I mean, $8-9 for a cassette. I mean, back in the day, especially when you're a young guy or gal, like that's a fair amount of money, man. Like I can eat. I can go get like back then you could eat well, man.
You could fill your tank on your car for that if you had a car, right?
Like $10, you would eat well in New York City in the 90s. Now you ain't gonna get jacked for $10. But it was like you make a decision like, do I buy the new U2 album or the new Notorious B.I.G. album, or do I eat? Or do I how do I do both? I used to busk in New York City. Like I would be legit the guy in the subway system just banging on tunes. I didn't do it a lot. That's kind of it's wild. Like that's like it almost feels like guerrilla warfare. You know what I mean?
That's what you did back in the day, right?
But you would do that stuff to make a couple extra bucks.
Yeah.
And then you could eat and buy an album.
But yeah, as far as like the artwork goes, a couple of things that I really wanted to do is, I think you kind of touched on some of them, but like keeping that like kind of weathered, like 90s feel to it. So even with like the background, I tried to make sure that it had kind of that faded yellow look.
Yeah, it's like weathered. I really love that. It's got such a warmth to it. I love what you did.
And this is a little tip that I almost don't even want to give out, but this is like the JW creates tip here is one thing that I love to do, and I think kind of helps add some depth and like a weathered look to it, is adding texture.
Yeah.
I always add texture basically to all of my album covers in different ways. And it's pretty light on this one, but it's noticeable. And it's amazing. If I pulled up my Photoshop file here and just like toggled it on and off, you would see just the depth that it brings to it.
I can tell right now because this is like on a white, just paper.
Yeah.
But that almost looks like parchment paper or something, or it looks yellow and weathered.
Yeah. And, even going as far as like with the text, I picked a font that has some like texture to it.
Yeah.
So that way it kind of looks like it's something that's been printed on that paper and it's got a little decay to it. And it's so small that you almost can't distinguish it, when you're looking at it. How do you
find like a font like that?
Oh,
like,
man.
Who makes fonts like that?
Dude, there's so many fonts out there that you can either buy or you get through Adobe or Google.
Because I added tracks that weren't on the original sequence. Like I had some other taped material. I'm like, dude, I got to add this song on here. And you're like, hey, is this the final? I'm like, no, I just changed the order. And then you were able to drop it all in like perfectly.
Yeah, yeah. I won't share all my tips and tricks, but texture is one thing that definitely adds depth and just a life to your art that you may not get without it.
I like the shadowing and stuff like that. It's just kind of, it's like almost like a museum look in a way. You're like, oh, this is like an artifact.
Ooh,
it's an artifact.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I like about cassettes too? And I mean, I'm just being silly, but there's like screws. Like they put this thing together with like screws and like little, like it's screwed in here, this whole thing. And I think it's really cool. Like that stands out to me like that. And I love how you put my band logo in there. And then I love how you redesigned. I had a production company. I still have this production company. It was really just to promote the band and to be a point of reference for people to call in. And now we use it to actually promote my daughter's band. And I'll like consult if people want to like, oh, how do I copyright my songs and stuff? I would, my wife and I do that kind of stuff. But you brought that new logo to us and I love it.
And I'll tell you,
it
actually came out of a little bit of necessity. So when I was putting this together, I wanted to get the girlfriend logo on there because it's just cool and it's something that wasn't on these, but I wanted that recognition to be on here. And when I put it on there, if it was just that the right hand side would just have nothing, and I was like, we need like, what do we put here? And I was trying to think of like imagery and stuff that we could use. But I know Phil had been talking about wanting to either try to resurrect their old logo for their production company. But I was like, I wonder, let me play around with this. So I played around with an idea. It's a reel-to-reel machine, which obviously kind of fits the theme here, right? But yeah, I just started playing around with the idea, and I threw it to them, hoping because I was pretty excited about it. I was like, ooh, I'm excited about this, but I didn't really ask if they wanted me to redo this logo. I just kind of did it, and I said, hey, what do you think? And obviously Phil liked it. So
you fell in love with it.
Yeah, and it gave me that extra piece that just kind of brought balance to the rest of it, because it would have been weird if we had the logo on this side and nothing there. It needed something to kind of just bring balance to the whole thing.
And I think, me, I don't play out a lot, but post band, I do like to help other artists. How do you promote? How do I register this song? How do I find a producer? And there's something when you have a logo for your company, I'll put that out as an email signature or something. It just gives what you're doing, your business. You gotta have it.
It legitimizes
you gotta,
it, right?
It's I'm serious about what I'm doing. It's
right.
I'm not just some knucklehead.
Yeah,
I've got a legit business logo, thanks to you.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that you don't have to have a logo to start your business. I think some people are like, oh, I got to have everything to start. You don't necessarily have it, but yeah, it brings that level of professionalism. Hey, I'm not just some schmuck that's out here trying to do this.
It's inspiring too, though. Yeah. When you delivered that to us, and you gave us all these different incarnations or formats.
Different variations.
Yeah, variations of it. It's just you get excited. You're like, oh wow, man, that's kind of cool, man.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. It was one of those projects that I was excited about, so I just did it.
Thank you.
So yeah, we'll have it on the screen, and there will also be some of the digital content. If you are just listening to this episode at jwcrates.com/notes, you'll see the note for this reel-to-reel episode. And since you brought it up, Phil, if somebody is interested, if we've got some young artists or people that just want to get some time with you, or want some of your services as a production company, how do they reach Phil?
You can just go to my website, which is philhyland.com, and so it's just PHILHYLAND.com, and email me through my site, and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah. Oh, one last thing that I do want to touch base on this too is the font for reel to reel. And so when I did the concept and sent it to you, I was calling it demos, and I had used just kind of a basic scripty font that looked cool for the word demos. But then when he gave me the name, I tried doing it, and I'm like, this just doesn't feel right. It didn't feel authentic. It didn't feel like it belonged there. So I actually asked Phil to give me a couple different variations of actually writing out reel to reel. So that's Phil Hyland's handwriting right there.
And thanks, man. That's kind of how I would have done it anyway. I did write on these things. I would just handwrite this is who we are.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I kind of wanted it, and especially kind of where I put it, I wanted it to almost look like this is something you would have if you were doing this by hand back in the you would just write it, move on to the next one, write it.
Yeah.
So I wanted it to just have that tactile, hands-on feel was really kind of what I was going for there.
That's fun. And it's so funny. For me, it's a lot of memories, man.
Yeah.
A lot of cool memories.
Yeah, it's cool. It's just cool that, these songs are getting new life. You're making new connections with people that were part of it because of this.
Yeah.
It's just cool to be a part of a project that it is kind of resurrecting these ideas and giving them new life. That's what I love doing. I love, bringing these ideas to life. And I love projects like this where you had kind of an idea, but you were like, I trust you to do it. And so if you are somebody that is wanting some help with some cover art, whether that's for a single or an album, heck, even in the podcast world, I'm your guy. Go to jwcrates.com. You can check out my cover art page, and then you can reach out to me through there. You can also reach out to me using my email, info@jwcrates.com. And that's enough shameless self-promotion.
Gotta do it, baby.
We did want to talk about one other cool piece of girlfriend news that has to deal with this whole, physical packaging thing.
Yeah.
So, Phil, tell me about, so you guys had your indie deal was the Girlfriend album, right?
Right. So we got a deal to, take these demos and go into a pro studio and make an album, which is every band's dream. And it was awesome. So what a honor to have that. We have no money, so we made an album. We recorded it at Sound of Music Studios in Richmond, Virginia, which is a great studio.
Awesome.
They did such a great job. The producer down there, John Morand, is still making music, and they've got a big history. You can look at a bunch of huge artists have gone through there. So we make this CD, and we got great artwork, and graphic designer was Ryan McGinnis, who has become a fine artist and really outstanding packaging. Like, I had no concept at all, zero. I did not even think about it. Like, it was so intense to just record the songs and make the music.
Right.
I'm like, cover art. And so my drummer, Dale May, is a pro photographer. He took it upon himself to create this great image. So anyway, we're a band in New York in the 90s. Well, what do you do? This is really there's email. This thing called email.
Does the internet even exist yet?
Right. So, what do they call this? A trifolders or, I don't know. 3 panels, right? But 6 because 2-sided.
Yep.
But the last panel is a perf, and you could rip it off, and it would say, "Thank you for purchasing Girlfriend's debut CD, The New Me. Please take a moment to fill out this card. We'd like to put you on our mailing list and let you know about upcoming shows, new releases, and other Girlfriend stuff." So you put your name, address, email, age, where did you purchase this CD, how did you find out about Girlfriend, what's your favorite radio station, what are your favorite magazines, because that is really how people would find out about music back then.
And this was kind of research for you guys too. Like, where are people finding us?
Right,
and
right.
Where you can put effort into.
And what are your favorite Girlfriend songs?
That's so awesome.
And then you can cut us a check, and we'll send you more albums. More Girlfriend CDs. So 30 years later, and this address, like our Girlfriend HQ in New York City, is still actively occupied by our family. And so I'm not going to give out the address because I don't need any weirdo stalkers. So I know who you are. But anyway, this showed up in the mail this spring, this postcard.
And this album came out when?
This album came out in 1999.
Okay, so 99.
And now it's 2025. So we get this tear-off card in the mail, and it's a young fan, and I'm not going to give you her name, and she puts her full address, her email. She's 15.
Filled it all out.
Where did you purchase this CD? Book Off in Mesa, Arizona. I will say that.
Huh.
How did you find out about Girlfriend? It caught my eye. The album. So that, right?
Yeah.
For me, Clueless, had no idea what the album art was going to look like, and my friends created this great album art. It's huge, right? That's what you do. You create huge, beautiful album art, so people pick the stuff out of the bins now. What's your favorite radio station? 104.3. What are your favorite magazines? Life and Vanity Fair.
It's so funny
15.
Because, like, do kids even know what magazines are anymore?
I think this is a kid that goes to thrift stores with her parents.
So must have really cool parents.
Yeah, like they're picking out like old Vanity Fairs.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's incredible, really.
Yeah, this is
so
wild.
She picked this out. She wrote all this stuff. What are your favorite Girlfriend songs? And this is where my wife and I got into a little bit of a fight because she picked Look, which my wife sings lead on, so good on her. But then she picked 2 more that I sing lead on, so I win, right? 2 out of 3.
2 out of the 3. Yeah,
she liked my song "Here Comes My Heart" and "When You Wake," which is a banger. And she mailed this in, like she put a stamp on there, and so we were like, oh, we got a call from New York saying, "Hey, we got this postcard here, like it's from the Girlfriend fan club. What do y'all want to do? Like, let me send this girl some swag,
some stuff." Yeah, come on.
So we sent a full-size poster, what else? Stickers, a big thank you note, and we're just grateful. Like, I love being able to hear from a fan like that. I mean, would you do that? Like, would a band now do like a bounce back card that you would tear out and like mail to
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of thinking that maybe you should.
And we even told them, like, here's where you put the stamp.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
I mean, if you are the young lady that sent this in, that's awesome.
So cool.
So yeah, I mean, I think I wanted you to share this story, Phil, because it just goes to show that like young people are into this physical format, right?
You're hungry
and
for
like,
it.
Does a 15-year-old these days like know how to put a stamp and send something in the mail?
It's crazy.
So like they actually had to go through the effort and like to like send this out.
Yeah.
And so I think it could be like a pretty viable thing. Like having creative things like this these days, I think helps, especially those fans that really want to interact with you be able to. So I don't know. I would say if you are thinking putting like a physical format of your music out, think of something fun like this.
Yeah.
It may not necessarily be something you have to mail in, but what if it's like a QR code or having like a website that's like a fan site or something like that? I don't know, that it sends people to. I don't know. It's just a really cool thing, and just really cool that 30-ish years later, somebody still took the time to send this in.
It's such
with
an
a
honor.
hope.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, that you would take the time to recognize our music.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I mean, I don't know. I almost shed a tear over it
I
because
bet. Yeah.
that really is the relationship, I think, between the artist and fan. And I'm a fan of some artists
Right.
out there, and
Right.
I want to support them. I'll buy their T-shirts.
Yep.
I really love them. And that fan artist relationship, that's real, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's real. Like, if you write a song and it affects me, like, there's some songs I'll put them on, like a lot of stuff from the 80s when I was in high school. Because
Right.
I graduated high school in 87, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes me back to prom, man. Like,
Yes.
I'm like, I know, I'll play that Def Leppard song. I'm like, I know exactly where I
Right.
was, who I was with, what I was doing.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, pull up, terrain. Yeah, but
Oh, man.
but I think music does that for
Yeah.
so many of us, and it's such a sweet memory. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I just am full of gratitude that this young lady would do that for us, and I really hope she enjoyed what we sent her. I'm doing the poster too, like when we did a run of girlfriend posters that really just looks like the album cover, but it's got like a little more detail on it. It's got like some press quotes and stuff. Those are the pieces of merch that fans want now. Like, you could sign a poster, like, maybe you'll do a run of posters for me, because I want to do some live shows to promote this new album.
Cool.
And we'll talk about that, like what we could produce with you, like physically, that I could take to, like, Yellow Racket Records downtown and do a gig there. Like, what would a fan want to walk away with that I could sign or bundle, or definitely going to silk screen some T-shirts, buddy.
Well, and something that we had talked about earlier, because I was just at the Linkin Park concert in Nashville.
I want to hear about that.
But they had gummy bears that were made for them. They had special Linkin Park gummy bears.
Crazy.
I had to buy them.
Of course,
you did. When they announced it, I thought it was for a specific show.
Yeah.
And so I was like, dang, they're not going to have them once they get to Nashville. But they had them. It was the first thing I bought. I was like,
really?
That. Like, I want that.
Way.
Yeah.
Were they on like the merch table or something?
Yeah. That's the only reason I knew that they had them.
I love the T-shirt you and your brother got.
Yeah, we got some cool stuff. We'll have to show that off.
Yeah,
and I think we're getting to where this is maybe getting too long.
Okay,
but we will.
Shame on you.
We will we will jump into some Linkin Park stuff, because it was everything I wanted.
Yeah,
Linkin Park to be. Obviously.
What's the name of the album they're promoting?
So it's From Zero.
From Zero. Okay.
Obviously minus Chester, but Emily is awesome. The set was awesome. Yeah, I mean, I could fangirl for about an hour and a half, probably
on the next episode. Let's talk about it a little bit, because I told you, I know when that first record, what Hybrid Theory came out, I was working in Hollywood in a warehouse with a bunch of guys that they played that record constantly.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was
100%.
Different. It was so different.
Right. Because it was that whole like rock rap hybrid that really wasn't around.
It was like, what is this? And it blew up.
I think we talked a little bit about this when we did our Linkin Park episode, when we talked about From Zero. So if you're interested in hearing, some of the behind the scenes, go check that out. That was probably only 2 episodes back.
Yeah, but you know what? I want to go back and listen to it. I think I'll go back and take a peek. That's on YouTube, yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. It's everywhere. So yeah, if you want to check that out, go back and check that out. And actually, I was thinking about this. I was going to repost some of them. I actually talked about the album Meteora as well. Linkin Park is the most talked about artist on this podcast.
Is it?
It is, I think.
What about me? What about my band?
We probably do talk about Girlfriend and Phil quite a bit.
That's
but
just an indie band. It's not some major.
Although we digress.
Yeah, we do.
Guys, thank you
Thank
for your
you.
patience. We are back, hopefully more consistently. But yeah,
It's
go-
fun.
go-
I just love talking about music and stuff.
100%. We could do this all night. But go to YouTube, Spotify, Apple, hit subscribe.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Leave us a review. And
Tell
also-
us what you want us to talk about. Do you have a band we should know about? Do you have a favorite band we should talk
Yes.
about? Let us know.
Yeah, favorite band, favorite album. Yeah, let us know. We are open to suggestions. We have ideas, but we want to hear your ideas too. So, Phil, it was great to be back with you. I'm digging the new spot.
Thanks, man.
And we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Bye, y'all.